know what happened. You don't even know what happened. It gets worse.
In New York City, United States of America, American families are constantly harassed and set up by some NYPD, Child Protective Services, criminal, slumlord, discriminating landlords, criminal neighbors, courts and their employees, crooked officials and more. When they get reported by victims and news reporters, they use retaliatory and intimidation tactics to follow, wait, harass and try to threaten the victims. Anyone who reports these gangs of thugs are targeted and harassed on a daily basis. At first, these two women began screaming out loud to get attention. They wanted to be seen and heard. But they realized they drew a lot of attention to themselves, not just from the targeted persons. When the targeted persons began moving, the two of them, one in dark suit with white and dark jacket and the other in a red dress who had some kinds of IDs on their persons which we assume is from one of the offices nearby on J Street, near Metrotech Center, began walking in the direction they saw the targeted persons going. The two waited to see which direction the targeted African Americans would go, and walked in that direction as they may have seen or been told where the car was that the targeted persons were headed. We saw others around the same area. A reporter and investigator were undercover watching. The targeted African Americans headed toward their car, and the two women in dark suit with dark and white suit jacket and woman in red dress began walking in front of them. They seemed to want the targeted African Americans to know that they were going to openly go in their direction, wait and watch them. They eventually crossed the street and did just that. They seemed to know where the car was and crossed the street and waited for the targeted persons. Why did they wait and only start walking when the persons who are targeted and harassed every day of their lives started walking? These tactics are used as a threat to warn victims, whistleblowers or anyone they think don't have power or courage to report the corruption, crimes, discrimination and targeting of African Americans in America. Why did these two women wait across the street near the vehicle the targeted African Americans were getting into? They watched the African Americans get into the vehicle and laughed as they knew at that point they had been caught and recorded. New York City allows all kinds of criminals to obtain official jobs to use for their own personal vendettas against American citizens. Those who wish to harm others and use the system to manipulate, set up, harm, harass, intimidate, threaten and control others find their way into official positions to make victims out of targeted Americans. African American families suffer more than the rest. This goes on every day in downtown Brooklyn as it has been for many years. All the official buildings on J Street between Willoughby Avenue all the way down to the schools at Sand Street have employees and officials who participate in the harassment of parents, students and American families every day. This is not a coincidence. This kind of behavior is happening every day to targeted African American families that criminals with badges and official identifications from New York City use to harass, retaliate and try to intimidate targeted persons and families. If targeted persons don't report it and investigators don't investigate and news agencies don't report it, these criminals can just say that targeted persons and victims are crazy. But countless evidence, reports, complaints and investigations prove that New York City has criminals with badges and criminals with official identifications using the system for their personal hatred, discrimination and crimes. Harassment, retaliation and intimidation are crimes. Again, why did these two wait, watch, walk, wait, watch and laugh as they may have realized they were caught but didn't care? Why is this allowed to continue? America and New York City should be ashamed. Harassment is a crime.